Morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back to the glorious Mooloolaba Beach. It's another brilliant morning here.
Yes, it is. And we thank everyone that's joining us this morning. And we've got a great topic, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Because you really are a crazy bitch, Joe.
Oh, yes, I am. Why would I believe that? Why do we believe things that other people say about us? What could really be going on here?
Yes, and Joe has done an amazing post in our community that really demonstrates how bizarre this whole thing is, how our subconscious mind can really convince us of things that are not true. And we really do have infinite ways of being in each moment. We do not have to believe what people say about us, but because we're so, our subconscious can link back so easily to times in our life that had emotional impact, then, yeah. So what happened to you? You really were fat, weren't you? That's the thing. You were told you were a fat kid.
I totally believed it. And what's amazing about that post is that I was able to find a photo of me back when I was a young teenager. And when I remembered thinking how fat I was, and now I can look at it and just go, oh my goodness, how ridiculous a belief was that?
Yes, I've said this before. I remember being at Joe's 50th birthday party with the big photo board, and I'm pulling her over going, Joe, come and show me where this fat kid is. I can't find her. So, good morning, Andrew.
Hi, Andrew.
Yeah.
And this is how crazy it is. So that just for a moment, take a moment to think about something that someone has told you about yourself, and you've taken it on board as being possibly true, as opposed to another time when someone has told you something about yourself that you've been able to just completely discount and go, oh, you're the crazy one, or something that doesn't resonate at all. So why is it the case that some we take on board, some that aren't serving us, aren't helping us to move forward in life and step into the biggest, brightest, boldest version of ourselves, but still we take it on board?
Yes, and for me, one of the biggest ones was my husband calling me crazy, and crazy probably in the way that I'm, really emotional. So I think that came back to, it can go back to things like just our parents being really busy and not having time for our emotions. And as a child, we felt that our emotions weren't valid, or that we're not really worthy of having emotions. I mean, my father was good at saying, shut those crocodile tears down, things like that. So I started to believe it. And I had to go back and really look at that and go, that's where it comes from. And what people say about you is really saying more about them normally than what it's saying about you. But when you have all this stuff from your own childhood that you feel, you can even get feelings in your body that are telling you that it's true. This is why I tap. I do my tapping every day. If something comes up that I think, oh my God, I'm buying into that, I can tap and let it go.
And this is why we say it's such a brilliant opportunity when our kids trigger us, or when our partners trigger us, or those close to us, colleagues, because there is something in there, rather than making it about them. When we feel triggered, if we go inside and become aware of where the links are back to our past, where our emotions were high around something that happened to us, then we can change those links, change the emotion around it, change the memory, and clear it up so that in future the very same thing can happen and it won't bother us anymore.
Yeah, and it can seem really in the moment like the person it's real, like, because we're triggered and we don't remember what it was like to be 2 or 3. We really don't. We have a lot of kind of our logical mind has kind of covered up what a 2-year-old might feel like, and we go to logic and go, oh, they were okay or whatever, which again probably comes from the belief system from your past. But if you really went back there and just took a moment to notice, you know, what it's like for your 2-year-old self to have that look on your mother's face going, don't be so mean to your sister. You know, so, and you're taking it on and really believing that you're a mean person, like, I'm really not good enough in this moment. So that's the place that it actually started, where you were told you were mean, you were horrible, you're bossy. I mean, this might be mostly for older sisters. What did the younger sisters get told?
Oh, I just, memory just popped in just recently, a few days ago. In my workplace, I got a brilliant opportunity to clear up some stuff and recognised that I still had some emotional pain around men in authority roles in my life, and I I became really angry at work, and it was just ridiculous. It was over really nothing. The men were actually being very supportive of me, and I'm making them out as ogres. And when I look back, I found a memory. I used to work with my dad with horses, and I felt like I was the face of the business, but I never had any say really in what we did. He was in the background and he had all the say. So often we would do things that I didn't agree with, and and that made me really angry inside because I couldn't speak up, I couldn't have a say, and this was reflected in my workplace just recently. And what I found was that in the past we would send horses away that weren't really ready for other people to ride, and there was a serious injury from a kid who'd gotten on a horse that I didn't think we should send away, and Dad said, no, we'll send it, and there was a whole lot of emotional pain for me around that because I didn't speak up, and then a kid got really badly injured. And so here, this is showing up in my present day by a male in authority. I'm perceiving him to be telling me something to do that I didn't want to do, and it wasn't really happening.
Yes. Yes, and I can't tell you how many of the mums that I get on the calls that when they tell me what their husbands are saying to them, or even what their children are saying to them, particularly their teenage children and even younger children are saying to them, and talking, saying you're this and you're that, and you know, I hate you, kind of thing, all the negative stuff, and when they've been in arguments. But the first thing I always say is, did you believe it? And of course, mostly they go, yes, I'm believing it because of what Joe just talked about. Because if you go back and you take a moment to just ask yourself, well, where does this really come from? Where did I first experience this? Where are the experiences from my past that I started to believe this about myself? Because I can guarantee you, if what someone's saying to you has an emotional impact in the moment, it's not coming from that moment. It's coming from a lot of juice in your past experiences, and usually, like with Joe's experiences, something that had some big emotional impact. And that's what the brain's all about, survival. So the brain keeps those things for us to, and we can go back and change it. That's the thing. Once you find those things, like Jo will be able to change that memory that she actually spoke up. And
I changed it. It was hilarious because my daughter was around and she was, I started to talk about it, and I said, I can't get to it. I don't know what it is. Ask me some questions. So she asked me questions and I answered, and then she just went, I'm getting a headache. Your words don't match what the story that you're telling me. And I went, oh my gosh, it's the male authority figure thing, and the memories started to come in then, and I got it. So sometimes you need someone around you to ask you like big questions.
Yes, that's what I love to do. As all the ladies that come to our calls each week in the parenting group They know how much I love to ask all these amazing questions that can help you find some of the places that all of this stuff is hidden in our subconscious, and it hides because it's trying to keep us safe. And as a child, you've got to understand, you wanted to stay in alignment. You wanted your caregivers to think you were a good person, so you started to think, oh, I'll have to remember that I shouldn't be horrible, right? I'll have to remember that I shouldn't be horrible, and then mum will love me. That's what your brain's doing. It's just trying to stay in alignment with your family. But unfortunately, then we grow into an adult and the brain is still doing the same crappy version of, I've got to, tell myself I'm nasty and horrible so that I stay a good person. Now, this is not true. In fact, all you do is beat yourself up for the rest of your life if you've got a lot of that stuff you're carrying around. Which I was an expert at this. This is how I know. I could carry something someone said just at I'd go out to play group or something like that, and I could carry a sentence that someone said to me for another couple of weeks and mash it over in my brain, and because back then I had no way of discharging it or finding where it came from or why I was doing this to myself. And so I'm just so grateful now that the minute that starts to happen, I'm just tapping, I'm going, oh, where did this start? Where is this from? I can, and really, even by letting go of the feeling, you're going to start letting it go. And if you just start tapping, you're going to go, oh yeah, I remember that time. I remember that memory. Ask yourself some questions. Where does it come from? How do I know this bothers me? And
that's a great question. How do I know this bothers me?
Yes, and if it's your husband and you're kind of getting into an argument, or your wife and you're getting into an argument, you just go, hang on a minute, I need a minute in the bathroom. I mean, this was very, very difficult for me to do in the beginning, because again, we get into this habit of getting engaged and wanting to get into a power struggle. Got a power struggle to fight, like really who's right and who's wrong. But there is no right and wrong. It's just I'm being my awesome self, you're being your awesome self.
And you've got those few seconds of gold, like to go to the bathroom. That's when you start doing it, like it will be challenging in the beginning because you're used to just going to reaction. But when you start doing it, taking the opportunity of those few seconds of gold to go away and work on your own stuff and then come back, and then it will become easier to go to that response of sorting out what's going on inside you first before the automatic reaction.
Yes, it gets easier and easier the more that you do this work on yourself. And the more peaceful, the more calm. As I say to my ladies and the parents that I work with each week, like it's been quite a number of years now since I've slammed a door, which is a miracle. Like I would slam a door once a month, because I did not know how to change this. But now, and I did not even know what being peaceful and calm even felt like. I'd been in such a reactive roller coaster mode my entire life that I just thought that was normal. And if I wasn't fighting, that was like, how do I get control of my world if I'm not fighting? And if I'm not trying to get control of something, which is really about what are these you statements all about? You're mean or you're nasty. Or we're trying to get control of somebody else. And really, who are we trying to get control of? Really?
That's why we say this work takes courage, because you got to face up to your own crap.
Yes.
We do have something that you can do to help you recognize some of the links in the past. If you take some time to take a few deep breaths and breathe and go into some memories around some awesome things people said or things people said to you that help you to feel amazing about yourself, and notice your feelings that come up. Notice any resistance as you're writing down these things, and tap on the resistance. So tell us more about that, Hilda.
Yeah, like maybe your grade 3 teacher told you were so good at spelling, Or it can be very small things. It may be that your grandmother, because unless you get your brain to focus on the positive, it tends to go to the negative. Like you might know when you've read your astrology chart, for example, or something like that, some of these things that tell you about yourself, right? You don't realize that you could just take the positive out of that. You don't have to take all the stuff they say that's, you know, not going to be good or whatever, but about you. It's your choice what you believe about yourself in every single moment. And so what you can do is, go to these memories, or even go to somewhere where you can find out some information about, if you're like an Aquarius like me, it'll have all these amazing things about Aquarians. So you can underline them and find out, like, this is really in alignment with me, this resonates with me. You can write them down. And your grandmother might have told you how much she loved you. Go back to that memory. Notice the feeling that you got when you experienced that, and start having these kinds of memories to practice. Now you can go back and change. I think we've made a list, haven't we, with this video of the ways you could change what was said to you. So instead of being the bossy big sister, you could change it to your mum saying, oh, you're so caring, or you're being so loving today, you're always so loving. You can change it to whatever you want, because then your subconscious will start operating from those memories that you've changed, instead of what it's currently doing, which is why you're ending up in arguments, and why you're getting triggered, and why you're believing the things that people say about you.
And if you have trouble changing the memory, that's only because there's still emotion around it. So that's where tapping comes in great, because tapping can help you release the unserving emotion, and then you'll be able to change the memory.
Yes. So even if you write these things like grandma, if you've got someone in your life who told you something special about you that really resonates with you and is in alignment now with you as an adult, then and anything else, just tap. It's like safe to let it go. That's all you need to do. It's like safe to let it go. Safe to let it go. I really am a loving person. I am a loving person. I am love and light. Yeah. I care for others. I deeply care about other people. Safe to let anything else go. So you can make this a practice every single day, and changing your internal dialogue, changing what you are saying to yourself.
Yeah. Yes. Every time.
And then, seriously, when your husband calls you a crazy bitch, you'll go, yeah. like it makes me laugh these days. I find it so funny. I go, yeah, I am. Like, I'm wild, I'm free, I'm adventurous, I'm amazing, I'm spontaneous, I'm awesome. But in the past, I really bought into it and went, how dare you? Yeah. That's very free.
Yeah. So awesome. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful week, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. Any questions about Ilka being a crazy bitch, or this work and how challenging it may be, or where you need to draw your courage from, please comment below and we'll get back to you.
Yay.
We'll see you next Wednesday.
See ya. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.